What's up guys, it's Will here, back again, and today I'm here to excitedly review the Lim Toys 1/12 scale The Rest of Us / The Last of Us Joel and Ellie figure set. Guys, I picked up mine from 16 Kit. Use the code WillFox for $10 off your order. That said, it's Joel and Ellie, so you know I am hype. Let's go, baby, let's go. All right, guys, so now we're going to jump to the unbox and chill segment where we will, in fact, unbox and chill. As you can see here, you got a nice packaging here. It's sort of like a holographic Pokemon card. It's pretty interesting. It has some, I guess, subtle weathering to it, sort of with the cordyceps and a bunch of other stuff like the Firefly logo and / The Rest of Us. So pretty clever design there. You'll see, though, with the bases, actually, they do have the character names, which is really cool. But as you can see, there's actually 3 separate boxes within a box. So it's boxception. So you actually have a box in the top part that has sort of a Molotov, a machete, a gas mask, and a bat, and then the other 2 boxes are actually Joel and Elle with their specific Joel and Ellie rather. Sorry, I'm thinking of the names of the actual figures. Joel and Ellie with the actual accessories that come with each respective figure. So yeah, I think it's really cool. The packaging is really nice. You can see here they actually put Joel Miller and The Rest of Us on there. So they tried to skate around the licensing the best they could. I think they did a pretty nice job though, considering, like I said, the bases do say what they actually need to. But Miller on the front there, so that's the figure name, Miller. And it's like Joel, J-O-L or whatever. You know, these third-party companies really come up with some clever ways to get around this stuff. So it's like Dr. Perky, you know, instead of Dr. Pepper and Dr. Thunder and all that stuff. So same thing. But these are actually great figures, so I'm excited to showcase these to you guys today. You see the packaging. I really like the art design, some cordyceps, stuff like that. And it really fits the theme of The Last of Us. So I feel Lim Toys did a really good job with the art design here and the box design, just because this really feels like the universe of The Last of Us. And I think this really represents the characters effectively. And again, gets you excited to unbox these iconic, legendary characters that I believe are some of the best ever written in any format ever. That said, you can see here there's Ellie's box. It says Williams and gives the Lim Toys logo and of course The Rest of Us and all that good stuff. So first accessory out of the box, you get a wooden bat here. So really cool. Again, these are 12th scale figures, so the accessories are pretty small, but they work effectively. This is Joel's gas mask. You can actually put this on his head. It has straps on the back should you want to display him that way. I don't know really why you would. I mean, he does wear the gas mask a decent amount in the game. However, that head sculpt is pretty good, which I'm going to show you guys, so kind of a waste. You see that machete and a Molotov cocktail. Pretty cool. You can have Joel holding those, and even Ellie if you'd like to. Unboxing Joel's packaging, you can see there you got a yellow list of instructions. You got a Joel packaging there with a bunch of cool accessories and the figure itself. But let's start with the instructions, because you can see there it gives you some detail on how to do stuff. It shows you how to wrap the bandage around his arm, shows you the stages of the infection on the back, which I think is really cool. And then again, just accessories, details the articulation, like most figures tend to nowadays, just for safety purposes. And out of the box, you can see here, this Joel figure is really good. Guys, this is about as good as it gets for 12 scale. This is a very small canvas that Lim Toys is working with here. And the amount of detail that they have crammed into a 12 scale figure is quite remarkable. And we will show it a little bit more detail. There's the brick. There's Joel's watch. It's super tiny. Ellie's, Joel's switchblade. You got a revolver and a pistol. Also really cool. You got a swappable set of hands there, a bunch, actually very detailed for 12 scale. Again, highly impressed so far, because this is a lot of detail for a 6-inch figure. There's Joel's backpack. It has his light on the front strap, and you can, it doesn't turn on or anything. It's 12 scale. That would be almost, I think, physically impossible. But I will say it is pretty dope. And you got the shotgun there as well. You can have Joel holding that should you want to, or Ellie should you want to. There's Joel Miller's base with a nice little grass sort of cordyceps type design with a crotch grabber. Pretty simplistic, but it works well. It does the part. It does what it needs to. There's a nail bomb. I don't know that you can have him hold this because it's very spiky. You don't want to break something, but be careful. So there's Ellie right out of the packaging. Also very impressed with this figure. Very intricate, you know, in terms of the tailoring. The head sculpt is very strong. The ponytail is actually articulated, which is really cool. So you can adjust that. There's blood on the bottom of her pants, as you can see, with splattering paint effects, and on her thighs, as you can see, with blood effects there as well. You got the bow and, of course, the hunting rifle. Very important weapons in the game. Really badass. I'm probably going to display Ellie with hunting rifle. There's Ellie's backpack, you know, really, really cool, with her sort of little monster keychain on the front. Her light on the front strap, really, really cool. A lot of detail, a lot of weathering, subtle weathering in these backpacks. And I think they're really cool. They have zippers. You can unzip them. Pretty cool. So Ellie Williams on the front base, crotch grabber, just like Joel. So really effective in the overall accessories package here. Some arrows that you can have Ellie shooting or maybe displaying in her backpack. Haven't really been able to get that done effectively. Be very careful with the accessories, they are delicate. Ellie's switchblade, and of course a pistol that Joel gives her from someone in Pittsburgh, and then a brick there as well should you want to throw it some clickers. And then you got some hands, swappable hands there that you can use for this figure. Very, very effective stuff there. They swap on nice and easily. Let's go over the accessories. You can see there's a hell of a lot here. For Limb Toys, they never skimp out on accessories. The Arthur Morgan is no different. It has more accessories than any human could possibly ever need for a figure collector, but you have more stuff that you could possibly ever want. You can display these two figures however you would want. You can display them in dynamic poses, static museum character poses. You can do so much. Have them holding a shotgun, have them holding a bat, a bow, a hunting rifle. You could have them holding a Molotov cocktail or a nail bomb or an axe. There's a million things here. You could spend hours posing these two, and it is fantastic fun, guys, let me tell you. So these figures, the accessories, I think you got to give a 5 out of 5. They include a bounty of accessories, and it's amazing. Let's show a new segment called handling. I know people like seeing the figures handled, seeing up close shots. So this is Joel. You can see here, I do have a machete and a Molotov in his hands. You can see the weathering on the outfit there, and there is actually Velcro on the shirt, so you can Velcro that close together just to cover everything, but it works great. The backpack, you just slide on his arms. The head sculpt is very strong. There's a lot of detail in a 12 scale figure. Can't wait to see their 6 scale versions, but overall, yeah, this thing is crazy for a fabric outfit, and then of course a really detailed head sculpt. There's Ellie's with the paint apps. Really, really cool. The detail and the weathering and the outfit is just amazing. I think this is awesome. So yeah, the amount of detail that they have crammed into a 12 scale figure is pretty remarkable. I'm not a 12 scale collector typically, but again, when you look at sort of Black Series and Marvel Legends and some other figures like that, maybe even SH Figuarts, I'm not sure if they're 12 scale or not, but stuff like that, this is pretty remarkable and shows what you can do in terms of realism for 12 scale. And it is quite exceptional, and I'm very happy to be part of it. And of course, there's Last of Us, so you know it's pretty exciting. Let's talk about articulation. These guys articulate pretty much any way you want to. They pose very effectively. They have several different joints. You can move the shoulder joints up and down. Of course, you got the elbow joint there as well. Hand joints, you can cover that with a bandage, as I did for Joel, as you can see there. And you can move the head side to side, move it all around, move the arms. Like I said, they pose very effectively. Joel's shirt stays in place pretty nicely. It tends to want to bunch towards the forearm, which is how it should be. It's how it is in the game. You can see the head pivot, works great, up and down, side to side, all around. You can pretty much do whatever you want with Mr. Joel there, and it looks fantastic. So yeah, lots of good posing opportunities. Again, leg articulation, knees there. You can do whatever you want with them. I don't know why you'd want them sitting down or anything. I wouldn't risk it too much because these are small outfits. You don't want to rip the pants like SpongeBob, so you don't want that, and you don't want to rip him down the middle like that because Joel's not going to be a happy camper. So articulation, we're going to give it 4 out of 5 rather, just because it poses pretty well, but with the small figure, you want to be careful not to break something. So character. This is Joel and Ellie, guys. These are two of the best written characters of all time. These two characters are iconic. They're superbly written. They have depth to them. They have incredible layering and just overall design to them in terms of their development on screen. So I think, guys, that these two characters are super iconic. It depends, though. Do you like The Last of Us? Do you play video games? Do you watch the TV show? How important are these characters to you? To me, they are super iconic. Again, I have a tattoo dedicated to Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us, the video game series, on my arm. It's a half sleeve. So I obviously love these characters and am very loyal to them, essentially. So pretty much any Joel and Ellie that gets put out there, as long as it's half decent, I will pick up. And as you can see here, these two look pretty great together on display, and you can pick them up for about $160 shipped out the door. That's not bad considering, you know, a 6 scale figure, one figure is going to cost you about $300. This is 2 figures for 12 scale for $160 shipped out the door. So I gotta say that's pretty good. So character, 5 out of 5. These two are iconic. They're legendary. Amazing. Presence. See, this is where I need to be objective here, because these are 12th scale figures, right? The amount of presence they have is a little bit limited just because of the size of them. Joel was about 6 inches tall. Ellie's a little bit shorter, maybe about 4.5 inches, somewhere around there. So the amount of presence that they have is going to be, the amount of impact they have on your display is going to be a little bit minimal. So I do think they look great. I do think there's a lot of detail put into 12 scale figures, such as these, but I do think overall the presence could be a little bit lacking for some collectors, maybe that are used to larger scales, just because again, these are so small. They take up so little real estate. And again, again, most people are probably not going to come in your collection and be like, damn, those 12 scale figures absolutely blew me away. These are for the diehard Last of Us fans that really want smaller figures. So for me, 3 out of 5 stars. Price, again, I mentioned about $160 shipped out the door. These are unlicensed figures, but I will say overall, I think the value is there. I mean, you get a ton of accessories, a lot of detail, fantastic head sculpts, great characters, pretty solid presence. Again, they're 12 scale, so it is what it is, but I do think that overall the value is there based on what you're getting. So to me, I'm gonna say the price overall is worth it. I mean, again, you gotta love Last of Us. If you're not a 12 scale collector, this could be something that you could easily pass on. But if you are a big Last of Us fan and you just got to have all the versions, then this would easily be a worthy pickup, considering, these characters are so iconic and so legendary. And again, let's take a look at the accessories, right? Think about that. There's a lot that comes with this figure. So for me, I think the value is pretty solid. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars there. So if we're wrapping up the scoring on these two figures, let's just say, look, overall, this is about a 4.2 out of 5. I think that these are very, very strong figures. Maybe if they were 6 scale, I'd be a little bit more excited about, their long-term potential. But I will say overall, for what they are, for 12 scale figures, Limb Toys nailed it. These things got delayed forever, but it was worth it. Accessories, there's so much. You can pose these guys so many different ways. 5 stars out of 5 there for accessories. There's so much you can do. Articulation, they pose pretty effectively, but due to the small nature of the figures, you want to be very, very careful removing the hands, and you want to be careful posing the figures with the fabric. Characters, iconic, legendary, nothing more needs to be said there. Presents, they're a little bit smaller, right, but still have a lot of presence on the shelf, just not as much as bigger items. Price, $160 shipped, not bad at all. Final score, 4.2 out of 5. I think overall, guys, these are a very good value. They offer quite a bit, especially for Last of Us collectors. But again, they're not going to be for everyone because of their size. That said, you can see here, guys, they are so cool. You can pose them so many different ways. So if you don't like what you're seeing from my poses, I tend to go a little more character museum pose like. So if you don't like that, give them something more dynamic. They only have one head sculpt each. There's no angry expression for them, but they're pretty dope. You can do some cool stuff with them. So it's Joel and Ellie, guys. I was going to go for this. I was going to go for these two characters because they are my favorite. They'll always be legendary to me. I even put them in my doctoral dissertation, so I love them that much. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Get notified for updates. But for me, I'm very happy I picked these two up. Yeah, so much great stuff coming. Anyway, guys, see you later. Bye. I said bye-bye.